Monday, June 5th. It's been a beautiful week last week. We were on the road. I did my first on the road. It was okay. We'll see if I can do better next time. But let's talk about our foreign policy, but not really the foreign policy per se, but the Machiavellian approach of President Trump and his binary approach of just trying to make deals with one or two states or nations at a time. And we've said from the beginning that's a real problem. You have to have a holistic approach and look at the world one way, not as a whole bunch of little multiple negotiations, but rather how one deal is going to affect everything else. So you have to have a holistic approach. You're going to do something with Germany. You got to see how it's going to affect Britain. You have to then see how Europe's going to affect Asia. You have to see how it all works its way around. The mistake, I think, is that he's just doing it binary, and we've now seen two situations where there is a problem already because of the binary approach. Doesn't mean it won't work out, but it's not good. His approach in Europe. He's gone in, he's bad-mouthed NATO. He can say whatever he wants. All of his people supporting him can say it. He has bad-mouthed NATO, made it clear, and then he got out of the climate change agreement. Now, whether you're for it or against it, I look at it more as a rejection of Europe. And that is really his whole approach, is he's rejecting Europe. But by rejecting Europe, he's going to have now a different type of situation where Europe may start to come together or may start getting closer to Russia. And that's not what we want. But by doing it that way, by isolating Europe, that's his binary approach there. By isolating Europe, I'm still convinced if Marine Le Pen had won, he would be dealing with France differently. But by doing this, they're now in a position where Europe becomes a wild card. Let's look down in the Middle East, where I like the idea of trying to bring the Sunnis together and make things happen, bring in, our different allies and work it out. But today, the Saudis, the UAE, cut off Qatar. Now, Qatar is an American forward base, and at the same time, it is Al Jazeera. It backs Al Jazeera. It likes to kind of play both sides, try to keep us a little bit happy, but at the same time, it pumps money out to Wahhabism and really kind of likes Hezbollah and Hamas, backs Hamas in the in both Gaza and the West Bank, not the PLO, and they're just really always looking to play both sides, because they have plenty of oil. Well, today they got cut off, and most of the flights into Qatar, the UAE, and Saudi Arabia. Now, what's going to come of this? Who knows? But we're looking at this as kind of breaking up the countries that were together by us just focusing in a binary situation and not really thinking what's going to happen to the other nations that are going to be affected by our binary negotiation. And it's already starting to split things up. The United States was always the glue in the world. It's starting to split things up. It's very uncomfortable. Just keep an eye on it. Let's see where it goes. Peace.